Who are you and what are you doing here?
I am the Chief Product Officer and also recently Deputy CEO.
Yes.
So I run product across our business areas, but also our digital channels and digital marketing.
Yes. So you're going to join us a couple of times today, but now it's time to talk about platform and channels. So please go ahead, Rasmus.
This is my favorite part. So well, hold on. Before we get started, let's turn on dark mode. There, that feels much better. All kidding aside, we just shipped dark mode in the web just before Christmas as an early Christmas gift to our users, and they love it. And it also saves 80% of the energy for your screens, so a bit of ESG also there. So with my time here today, I will take you through our digital channel strategy, but let me start really with our key selling proposition. I think you'll hear all my colleagues here today describe really how the secret sauce for Nordnet is this combination of a leading customer experience in our channels, in both app and web, but really combined with a wide product range of bleeding edge financial products, all delivered through smooth and frictionless customer journeys. But then, it's so important that all this runs on an agile and scalable tech stack, which my colleague Elias will talk about shortly. But before we get into the channels, let's have a short look at what a typical day on the Nordnet platform looks like. So, just before the European markets open, we start seeing requests spin up against our API. And they peak at around 20,000 requests per second just before markets open. As you can see, they slow down during the day, and we see another spike when the US markets open in the afternoon at 11,000 requests per second. And on a typical day, some 265,000 users log into our app, and another 115,000 on our web. They start putting through orders. On a typical day in 2021, they put through 285,000 orders on the platform, 88,000 of which were cross-border, for a total traded value of 7.3 billion. And by the time the US closes, over 1,000 new customers have joined Nordnet, and both they and existing customers have added 230 million in net savings to the platform. We paid out 23 million loans, and some 120 million of net buys and funds have been made. Almost by any metric, I think you'll agree that's a pretty awesome platform we've built. So, how do we take this platform forward? What is the digital channel strategy? Well, I would argue that there are really three prongs to it. First of all, strategically, I call it vision-based. This is where we want to bring this platform and these channels to our customers in the future. We talk about our web next as the consolidator of key customer segment needs. We talk about our app as a standalone channel in the future to manage your savings. And we'll talk about Shareville and how that'll form the heart of the user experience. But we also work tactically or outcome-based. And this is really down to our teams to own different parts of the customer journey, where they look at different outcomes from an OKR perspective and really want to ship feature-complete functionality in both app and web, adding rich data, convenience, and delightfulness every single day, like Lars mentioned. And finally, we're very much opportunity-based, and we run unplanned innovation. This can come in the form of customer feedback, and we work very closely with our customers, both in research groups, but also through all of our social media channels, including Shareville, to garner customer feedback. We work with employee-driven hackathons. They can happen almost at any time, but we have 2 booked hackathons a year. And then we have inspiration, of course, from global and local peers, and we can steal with pride if we want to. But starting then with our web application, which we internally call Next, this platform is entirely designed and developed in-house, launched in 2019, and we're adding features almost daily. And as Elias will describe, we have the capability of shipping new features 18 times a day during trading hours. Now, we call Next our financial cockpit because it's perfectly designed for both research, both on the fundamental type and the technical analysis type. It features streaming real-time prices and order books, customizable tick quick bar, and a very rich data set of static and dynamic data. Over the last year, almost 40% of customers used only or mainly the web. And like I said, 115,000 daily active users with a DAU/MAU engagement ratio of just over 20%, which is very good for a financial platform. We see the most trades through this platform, 115,000 per day, or 43% of daily traded value. So, what's the strategy for the web going forward? Besides being a financial cockpit, like I said, we also see Next as the consolidator of very key customer segment capabilities. We have this platform that's now incorporates all the different needs that different segments may have, starting with our blog. We talk a lot about proprietary content, and we create a lot of proprietary content through all of our investment coaches and savings economists in the 4 countries. And so last year, we incorporated the blog into the web. Shareville, our social investment platform. I'll come back to this, but work is underway of integrating Shareville functionality in the web. Then we have our client manager portal for our partner customers. I'll speak about that this afternoon, but again, we're going to use Next as the platform and then overlay the distinct capabilities that our IFAs need. And finally, we have a third-party platform called Infront Web Trader for our traders that Lars Walker described, and a lot of these features we will be adding into Next for this customer segment. So switching to the app then, I'd first like to boast about the Red Dot Design Award that we just won. It's just a very prestigious international award, and couldn't be prouder of the team and the designers and the developers who made that happen. Like I said, the app was entirely designed and developed in-house, and it's seen fantastic development in both features and use since launch. Like the web, it features real-time streaming prices, 5 levels of order book, integrated instant deposits, customizable charts, haptic feedback, and today, over 60% of our customers use only or mainly the app. We currently have 265,000 daily active users with an engagement rate of 38%, which is very, very good, beating out a lot of the sort of household UK fintech names, including Hargreaves and Freetrade. All these active users put through 86,000 trades through the app, representing 25% of traded value. But what's really cool with the app is we've really seen in the data how it's smoothed out seasonal trading patterns, as you can always reach your portfolio, whether you're on a ski lift or in a sailboat. So going forward then, the app strategy is to make the app much more of a standalone channel, so that customers really can live their financial life in the app. Even so, we also see the use of the app as an extension of Next on the go. It's a perfect delivery mechanism for push notifications, price, news alerts, trade confirms, etc. And of course, the advantage of app as a medium is that native experience, the immediacy, the haptic feedback, the delightfulness in the interactions, and also it being a captive environment. I mean, there are no other tabs or windows to divert your attention, and that's why we see that higher engagement rate in the app. So finally, Shareville. Now, for those who don't know, Shareville is our very own social investment platform. So as opposed to Twitter or Reddit, Shareville truly is put your money where your mouth is. Everybody can see how you're doing, and if you own a stock that you're talking about, and how it's performed over time. So we show people other users' portfolios on a percentual basis if you've opted in. So nobody can see how much money you have, but they can see at what price you bought and sold at. And we assign between 0 and 3 stars based on risk-adjusted returns over time. Now, Shareville really is a fantastic customer acquisition and retention tool. To date, over 300,000 of our customers have shared their accounts on Shareville. And we can clearly see that customers of Nordnet that are also Shareville users generate 1.8 times the traded value and over 2 times the commissions, compared to customers who are not on Shareville. And we have very exciting plans for Shareville going forward. First of all, why do we have it? And as Lars was describing, we firmly believe that Shareville is at the heart of this mission to democratize savings and investments. It's all about inspiration, education, learning from the best. It's also user-generated content, that holy grail of the modern era, right? So we create a lot of our own content, but here our users are creating relevant and engaging content. As such, it is a fantastic attraction and engagement tool, like I showed you, but also it really is a unique selling proposition, or a USP, in the original sense of that term. There's nothing else like it in our part of the world. So why integrate it? User experience for once. Today we are diverting our users between our main app and web and the Shareville app and web. That experience is not as good as it could be. There's duplication of functionality. We have instrument pages, news, alerts, all these things in 2 places. From an SEO or search engine optimization perspective, it's also less than ideal. There's some 200,000 clicks going the wrong way currently. And then finally, it's not part of the tech strategy that Elias will describe. It's built on a different platform with a different coding language. So the future, like I've said, is really for Shareville to form the heart of the Nordnet experience. And we see that experience really based around your feed as a user. So we've done very fundamental customer research with some of our very best Shareville users and Shareville ambassadors, and done some competitor benchmarking across the world. And we're very excited about this future because we really see that the user's personalized feed or your feed will form the central part of the next and app experience. And that feed will contain social news. Might be a blog about a stock you own, news about a stock you own. You'll get your transaction confirms, splits, dividends, news, what have you, and an endless scroll, really helping us to boost that engagement ratio. So that's it for the channels for now. Let me then flip to the second part of our secret sauce, the one-stop shop for savings and investments. And like Lars said, it really is our ambition to be that one-stop shop. We want users who have onboarded to find what they're looking for in terms of products on the platform. And we do want to expand the products offered in each of these categories, but also put text in more of these boxes. So within securities brokerage, it's really extending that lead that we have across the Nordics. It's about adding more trading venues, more products, and better trading experience, as my colleague Quincy will cover this afternoon. Within funds, we want to become as strong as we are in brokerage. That's also about evening out the distribution of our income, but also about appealing to that ever important saver customer group that Lars mentioned. And my colleague Gabrielle will talk about that this afternoon. Within pension, we see a step change in growth throughout the Nordic markets, especially about putting text in that Danish and Finnish box, and my colleague Frederick will describe that in detail. And finally, within our complementary credit products, we want to boost trading power in margin lending. We want to bring our award-winning mortgage to both Norway and to Finland, and my colleague Jacob will talk about that. And within Shareville, like I said, we want to integrate the experience into Nordnet. Now, so we have beautiful channels, and they're about to get a lot better. We have cutting-edge financial product, and they're about to get a lot better. What about those automated customer journeys? Well, all of these products need to be delivered through a number of automated customer journeys into the channels. We are a digital platform after all. And the process of onboarding and accessing the products really follows roughly 18 customer journeys divided into 3 journey families, which is also coincidentally how we organize our product and tech teams. So starting with foundation, which is everything you need to become a customer. Discover, which is where you become inspired to find what you want to invest in. And then finally execution, which is when you've identified what you want to invest in, how your order is routed and comes back with a confirm. So we're constantly, of course, working on refining and automating these customer journeys. And in this year's roadmap, we're focusing on 6 of them. They're highlighted here in white on the screen. We just shipped Move My Savings in Sweden, which is a beautiful and automated flow for moving both your stocks and your funds to Nordnet. And many other are going to come during the year. So with that, and to tell you more about the fantastic work we do with this tech stack and with our engineering teams, I'd like to welcome my colleague Elias up on stage. Elias?
Thank you, Rasmus. Thank you.
Take it away.
I will. Hi, everyone. My name is Elias Lindholm, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Nordnet. I joined Nordnet in 2019 as Head of Engineering and became CTO last fall. Before joining Nordnet, I spent some years at Avanza, almost 12 actually, working hands-on as an engineer, and I also held different leadership positions during my time at Avanza. So I'm going to cover the next 2 capabilities. The first one, which we called a data-informed organization and the personalized experience. And the common theme here is that we want to increase our leverage from all the data we have available on our platform, both about our customers and their use of our services, but also about internal processes and how they are working. And with that data, we want to really aid decision-making and improve our user experience. So, starting with decision making, we have started to rebuild our platform for data, BI, and analytics from the ground up on Google's cloud. And our ambition is to create tools and dashboards for all departments and teams across all of Nordnet so that they will get easy access to the most relevant KPIs and measures for their operations. And with those tools, we really will help all Nordnetters make more informed decisions. Further, this also creates a solid foundation for continuous improvements of both our online offering and our internal processes. When everyone can see what's working and what's not working, then everyone can start suggesting improvements and also take actions to improve, and we can all see the effects from those actions and iterate until we reach the desired impact. And this will, if we can make small and large continuous improvements across all of Nordnet, then it will be just a matter of time until we will have this truly amazing platform for savings and investments. The other area where we want to increase our leverage from our data is when it comes to personalizing our customer experience. Think what Spotify does, for instance, with a service like Discover Weekly, which is a highly personalized service with suggested music tailored to each individual user's personal music taste. Other examples of highly personalized services are the Facebook news feeds or the YouTube video recommendations. We want to bring that kind of experience and applications to the Nordnet platform and start personalizing our user experience. For instance, we want to inspire our customers with investment opportunities based on their individual savings and interests. And we also want to make sure that everything that relates to the Shareville experience is highly relevant and personalized to each individual Shareville user. Once again, the important initiative here is our migration to Google's cloud and the platform for data that we are creating there. That will allow us to personalize larger and larger parts of our online offering. Moving on, the next capability we call the cloud-powered platform. And before I get into the specific initiative here, I want to start by giving you some high-level objectives in our tech strategy. Starting with security, I guess we have all seen the increased amount of media coverage about larger and larger companies becoming victims of different kinds of cyber attacks. And of course, as we continue to grow, we will become a more compelling target for attacks. And therefore, a key objective for us is to continuously pick up effective security measures so that our customers' information and assets are well protected on our platform. A second objective in our tech strategy is scalability. We have basically doubled our customer base over the last years, and our ambition is to double it again over the next years. That requires us to be able to quickly scale up new production capacity as we see more and more users on our platform. That in turn requires that we continuously remove bottlenecks in our platform and make sure that all parts of it scales well. The third objective in our tech strategy we call data agility, and this ties directly into what we talked about on the previous slide about decision making and personalization. We have tons of data on our platform. The challenge is that that data is scattered around in a lot of different systems and data sources. So what we really want to do here is improve our ability to bring all that data into one place, which allows us to both do decision making on all that data and also to build data intense application on a cross section of that data. For instance, like personalizing our customer experience. And the final big objective in our tech strategy is speed. We need to continuously innovate around all parts of our online offering. The experience in all our channels, the products we offer, and of course the internal processes who powers this online offering. And that in turn requires us to have the ability to quickly deliver new software. And that in turn requires us to continuously invest in replacing old and outdated technologies with new one that is fit for purpose and allows us to run with high speed, low risk, and good quality. So there are, of course, a lot of actions we have taken over the last years and will continue to take in order to improve security, scalability, data agility, and speed. But I would say the one that will have by far the biggest impact is our migration to Google's cloud. In 2019, we entered into a strategic partnership with Google with a long-term ambition to move our entire online platform to Google's cloud. And in 2020 and in 2021, We have onboarded our engineers on this platform and trained them, and we have also made a lot of adaptations to both our old platform and our new one to allow larger and larger parts of our online offering to be hosted on Google's cloud. And last year, 35% of all development at Nordnet was on this new platform, and now we are ready to really turn this into our primary platform for development. And with that comes a lot of benefits, and I want to stress 3 of the big benefits of this new platform. First of all, we have a lot of managed services on this platform. Services that are just there and that our development team can start experimenting with immediately and quickly take out to production when they want to. Further, Google takes care of the ongoing maintenance and continuous renewal of those services, which allows us to focus on core business development. And even better, some of those services are very advanced and we would never be able to create similar capabilities on our own premises. The second big benefit of this platform is security. Nordnet X on Google's cloud applies what is called zero trust, which is a step increase in security compared to what we have on our old platform. And even better, Google has announced that they are going to invest $10 billion over the next 5 years just into strengthening security for the benefit of Nordnet and all our customers. And finally, the final big benefit of this platform is scalability. A platform like Google's cloud basically offers global scale. We can spin up new production capacity in the matter of minutes or hours compared to the weeks and months it takes us to order new hardware and install it in our own data centers. And with that, we also open up for entirely new ways of working. For instance, if one of our dev teams want to run load or capacity tests, they can quickly spin up a production-like environment, run the necessary load test against this, and then tear it down, and we just need to pay for the short period of time that we use that environment. Doing something similar on our old platform is just not feasible. All in all, what this allows us to do is to focus on core business development. And on this platform, we are going to be able to create new products and services that we would never been able to create on our old platform. And that will really help us accelerate our pace of innovation going forward. Talking about accelerating pace of innovation, the other big contributor to that, of course, is the scale-up of our development department. Last year, we signed 51 new engineers, and we plan to have, by the end of this year, 37 development teams, which is basically twice the amount of development teams that we had just 2 years ago. And we see our development teams as our unit of delivery. One more development team typically means that we can run one more big initiatives in parallel. And with this scale up in development capacity, we should be able to deliver twice the amount of big business initiatives over a year compared to just 2 years ago. And not only are we growing fast in our engineering department, we are doing so without sacrificing efficiency. Thanks to a lot of automation of recurring engineering tasks, sunsetting and decommissioning of old software, the cloud migration that we have already talked about, and also continuous refinements and adjustment in our team structures to make sure that our development teams are as independent as possible, we see improvements almost regardless how we measure engineering productivity and efficiency. For instance, last year we made more than 7,000 production releases, which I just say is amazing considering the size of our engineering department. And another number I want to stress is our release lead time. That has dropped to 29 minutes. The release lead time is the time it takes from a dev team from when they are done developing a new feature for our customers and until that is available for our customers in our production environment. We do that on average in 25 minutes. There are companies who claim to be agile who do this in days and even weeks, and I know that some of the big banks, when they work on their old platforms, it can take months and even quarters for them to get changes out to productions. So this is really a core advantage for us and sort of a competitive advantage, at least when we compare to the big banks. And I want to end with this slide to just mention our platform's availability. I'm super happy that we managed to increase our availability last year from 99.8 to 99.9%. And although this might not sound like a big increase at first glance, it is actually a 2x improvement when you look at the downtime, which has dropped from almost 500 minutes in 2020 down to just less than 200 minutes last year. And what makes me even more proud about this achievement is the fact that we have done this during a year of record activity. Almost no matter how we measure it, if we can look at the activity on our web, on our app, or trade activity, we saw records everywhere last year. So I think what this really shows us is that all the actions that we have taken over the last years to improve our platform's stability has really led to the desired results. And that was it for me. I guess I hand it over to you, Johan.
Thank you, Elias. And as for the others, we'll save the questions for later, so stay close to the